Hi and welcome to Cheekyricho Cooking's steamed salmon parcels made in the Ninja Foodi. This is such a versatile appliance, you'll be surprised at the number of uses that it has. The first thing we're going to do is push it to one side is we've got some soy sauce, add that to a bowl, some sake and some miso. Now I'm just using red miso, but you could use any miso that you like here. And we want to mix this all up because we're going to brush our salmon with that inside our parcels to give it a gorgeous flavour. So just mix that all up. This is a very Japanese inspired dish. Okay. Put that to one side and let those flavours get together. We're going to be steaming some zucchinis here. Baby spinach goes inside our parcels with some spring onions, and we've got some shiso, which is a Japanese herb. Quite an unusual flavour, really mild and nice. Our parcels are going to be made with rice paper. Okay, so these, you just buy those in the shop. They're pretty cheap. You soak them in water until they're just pliable, and then you can use them to mold around your fish. Now, we've got some asparagus here, and we've just got some broccolini. We're just going to steam that along with the fish. It's quite a low carb recipe. Put our rice paper wrappers to one side, and I'm just going to get our fish. I'm not going to put the skin inside the parcels. I'm going to basically skin the fish, remove the trivet from the bottom of the foodie basket. We'll use that later. And we're going to take the skin off our fish with a knife as close to the skin as you can go with a fairly sharp knife. And this is not a fairly sharp knife. Take hold of the skin then, okay, and then just wiggle your knife along, okay, and that's what you should have. A lot of fat in that skin, a lot of good oils in that skin. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to just pop that in the bottom of our foodie, put our fish back. We want all of these pieces skinned. If you've bought fish that has already been skinned, obviously you can't do this step. Now I've got filleting knives, but this is just to show you how really simple it is. You can use just a vegetable knife to do this. Okay, run it down like so, holding the skin the whole time. There's your fish, there's your skin. Pop that in the bottom as well. And what we're going to do while we prepare our little parcels is make our skin nice and crispy. Now, if you just turn that on the air fryer, that's just going to curl up, make a nuisance of itself. If you were to use an oven to do this, and of course you could, you would put 2 trays in the oven. One tray would have the fish skin on it, the other tray would sit on top of it, and that would keep it from curling up, and it would also keep it nice and flat. The heat transfer would make it nice and crispy as well. Now just layer your skin around flat on the bottom of the foodie bowl, like a giant Tetris, isn't it? Because what we're going to do is we're going to sit the basket in on top of it like so. Okay, now when I turn it onto the air fryer function, it's going to crisp it all over. Okay, it's going to crisp it underneath, it's going to crisp it on top, and then it'll be kept nice and flat. The oil will come out of it. Don't even worry about washing the bowl. The next step is going to be steamed, and you'll be using the bowl for that anyway. So just put it down there, turn it on, air crisp, on high for about 7 minutes and check it. Hooray! Next step. Okay, now we get a flat plate, pour some water in it, just cold water, and we're going to dip our rice paper roll into that. We just want it to get pliable enough to be able to accept our filling. Alright? Now don't soak these in it because they will fly to bits. Grab your rice paper roll. Lay out some spinach on that, some of your shiso on that as well. Get your fish, cut it in half, and lay it on like so. Get our brush, and we're going to paint our fish with our miso dressing. A few spring onions on top of that as well, and we're just going to roll this up. But this is completely raw, so it has to be cooked now. And pop it onto our plate. Spinach, shiso, a piece of fish, our sauce, spring onions now, and fold it right up to encase that little parcel quite firmly, and that's what you should have. Now if you want to make larger pieces, just use 2 wrappers. Overlap them and wrap them up like you were parceling up some fish and chips. Okay, spinach goes on now, shiso goes on now, fish goes on now, the balance of our lovely miso seasoning, spring onions on there now, and we're going to wrap it this way first because it's going to work better that way. Okay. Now, I'll show you what's happening with our salmon skin. Now, I'll show you what's happened with this skin. It's really quite crispy. Just check on our skin and give it another 5 minutes. Okay, now we've just got a bit of sesame oil. We're going to splash it onto a piece of baking paper, paint it all over, and this is what we're going to set our little fish parcels on so that they don't stick. Poke a few holes in the bottom of it if you want to make sure that the steam gets through where it needs to go. Okay, after a further few minutes, we're just going to remove our basket now. Okay, now we just press our basket. Don't worry about cleaning it. Down into the trivet. There is oil on it, just give that a bit of a rub around. We're going to remove our crispy fish skin now, and that's going to be not only tasty, but part of our garnish. Okay, you can see that? It's really quite crispy. It'll crisp up even more now that it's going to cool off. Okay, we're ready. Now, we pop this one back in now. It's pretty hot, so just be careful. With some water. Because now we're going to steam our meal. Don't let these touch each other because they will stick to each other. Let's pop that in there like so. Put our little fish parcels in, touching the paper. Just leave them all in there like that. Poke just a couple of holes in there just to let some steam through. And we're going to put the steamer lid on, turn it around to the steam function and steam it for 3 minutes. Once it comes to temperature, it will then count down and steam for 3 minutes. Okay, we just got some rice here. We've wet a bowl, put it into the bowl, put it onto a plate, invert the plate, give it a little jiggle, and you've got a perfect little rice circle there. Okay, it's now on the keep warm function, and we're just going to make sure the steam is completely released, and we're going to pop our pieces of fish out onto our plate with our little packet of rice. Okay, and now we're just going to pop our vegetables in there and just steam them in those juices. Okay, there's plenty of water in there. I'm going to wet it as well. 5 minutes. Okay, I've got some furiyaki here, which is just a Japanese seasoning. Black sesame seeds, little chopped up fish. I'll give it a nice flavour. We're serving it with some pickled ginger and some wasabi on our steamed vegetables when it's ready. And we're just going to cut our pieces of crispy skinned salmon. You can hear how crispy that is. Listen. Yummo. And we're going to lay our vegetables over there. Okay, after just a few minutes, our vegetables are beautifully steamed, still nice and vibrant. We've got some asparagus here, some broccolini, and of course our little strings of zucchini. And there you have a tasty little platter for two. Okay. There you have it, Cheekyricho Cookings, salmon parcels cooked in the Ninja Foodi with crispy salmon skin and beautiful steamed vegetables. Serve that with a sprinkle of spring onions and a little drizzle of sesame oil. Have a taste, shall we? So moist and tender. It's an Asian version of a pavillon and you can eat the wrapper. How good's that? Thanks for watching.